Today we will be covering how to properly run cover four technique as a corner here at Walsh University and in our defense. Rule number one. So in cover four, we will be playing in mod technique. Now, mod is an acronym that stands for man over anything deep. So anything deep, you will be over top of it. By over top, I mean if you're guarding the receiver. If you are the receiver, I'm the defensive back. I'm pedaling. You can never get past me. I have to stay on top of you. I can't let you pass me. So when the ball is thrown, I can break over top and go for it. Our utilization, so our first step is going to be our read. So what is our read? Our read is the receiver. First thing we want to look at is the receiver splits. Now, we will talk about the red line later on. The red line is going to tell us whether or not we need to be inside leverage or outside leverage. By leverage, I mean head up. If you are inside leverage, you are inside of him. You are closer to the ball. If you are outside leverage, you are closer to the sideline. Next, one receiver in, 3 deep. So this goes in for one of our checks. If we have one receiver on one side and 3 on the other, we will be going yo-yo, which is check C. Backside, we will be in yo-yo. Yo-yo, this is for my safeties. Safety, backside safety. Yo-yo, another acronym, stands for you're on your own. You have number 3 by yourself if he goes up the field or runs anything vertical. Our alignment will be 1 by 6 to 7 yards, depending on the situation, down the distance, things like that. Inside or outside the number 1 receiver, depending on his split, like we talk about the inside and outside leverage. Our keys are going to be the quarterback to number 1. So we will be reading the quarterback first. When we first ball's hiked, we're taking our read step and we're watching the quarterback. If the quarterback is giving us run action, we're playing slow. If the quarterback is giving us quick, he's right here, or long arm, we're getting into our pedal. We're bringing our eyes back to number 1. Once we see the quarterback is pulling the ball out and we know there's a threat right in front of us, our eyes need to transition from the quarterback now to the man in front of me. Once I'm looking at this man, now I'm working my technique, which we will continue to talk about. This is when we will begin to work our back pedal and our weave, making sure we're maintaining our leverage while staying over top of the receiver. Our run responsibilities, if I have run to me, so if the ball's inside over here and they're running the ball towards me, I have to secure the player. I am the last man on the outside of the defense. Nobody can get outside of you. So I have to make sure I either secure the tackle or I'm forcing him back up and inside. If we have run away, we're the cutoff defender, what I like to call BCR. We are boot, counter, reverse players. Meaning, if they run a boot, fake it, roll back out, we're there ready to go. If they run counter, we're there ready to go, coming back. Reverse, we're there ready to go. We can play slow to run away because the odds that we make that tackle all the way across the field is slim to none. Our pass responsibilities. You are a pass first defender. As defensive backs, we are always playing the pass first. We can play the run late. We can come up and help our guys in the box, but we need to take care of what we need to take care of in the back end first. You must read the quarterback through the quick game. If you get a 3-step, you must react your eyes to number 1. So like we talked about, if you get a quarterback, if you get quick game, that means if you get him cut, he gets the ball 1 step and he's getting it out, you got to be ready to break him. We're going to talk about our steps and how we need to step as well. T-step is what I like to call it. You also need to be able to read if your quarterback gets the ball and he takes 1, 2, 3 steps, he's going through a progression. That means there's a pass concept coming at you, which means people are getting down the field. This is when your eyes need to start to transition. Versus 3-step, you must react your eyes to number 1, and you're driving his upfield shoulder once the 3-step is cleared. So if he clears the 3-step and then he's looking, you're getting on whoever the man is in front of you, your man over deep. Once he's deep, you're committed to him. You're getting on top of him. You're getting to his upfield shoulder. So if I'm the receiver, and I'm running this way, Inside's that way. I go here. You should be attacking this shoulder to stay over top and outside of it. You want to use your crossover run with your eyes on the leverage hip of the number one receiver. So when I say crossover run, like I said, we'll get into our back pedal. We'll start weaving. Now, once he starts pushing us, we can't stay like this forever. People move a lot faster going forward than we do backwards. Once he starts burning our cushion and he's getting past us, we now need to open up and crossover run with him. Once we do that, we're on his upfield shoulder like we talked about, and we're staring straight at his hip. Hips don't lie, okay? Shakira said it best. Once you're on that hip, you're running with him the whole way. Your eyes stay on that hip. Wherever his hips go, he is going. You want to use a climb and try to cut off the route from the top. So when I say that, you want to stay on top like we talked about with your eyes on the hip. And when he's still trying to work this way, you want to eventually work your way to getting in front of him, and you're running the route for him essentially. This way, if the quarterback does make that decision, you're there to make the play. If the receiver runs a post or a corner, you will speed turn it. Now, speed turn. This is what a speed turn is. So a post corner, for one. If the receiver runs a post corner, they cut inside for the post, they sell it, and then they cut right back out to the pylon, running the 7 route, corner route. We need to make a speed turn here. So I've told you now you need to stay on top of it. You're on the upfield shoulder, you're on his hip, staring at his hip, you're staying on top, you get in front of him, he cuts back on you, you need to now turn back this way. This gives us the quickest, fastest turn possible. This is less body movement than if we are going this way and then we try to stop, pivot back, and completely turn our body, and we're locking our hips up to where now I can't move as much, to where if I'm here, turn around, I can go wherever I want with my hips again. I have my feet under me, I'm getting back, and I have the chance to get back over top of that route again. If the receiver sends you outside in your crossover run, eventually you're going to lose vision of this man. So, meaning, if he's coming at me, this is my outside, and then I start to crossover run like this, and he keeps running out here, I can only see so far that way with my peripheral vision, correct? We can only see so far to our side. So once we lose vision of him, we will once again need to speed turn, find the man, get to the man. This is when, if we're not doing this right, this is when comebacks, curls, hooks, hitches will start to get to us. If number one is shallow, meaning I'm right here, I see quarterback's thrown and you go inside immediately, very short, I'm leaving you alone, I'm letting you go, I'm zoning up, and I'm looking for anything coming back out or across from the other side of the field. A tango corner. So a tango corner will be played if our safety checks tango. If our safety checks tango, as a corner, we will be breaking on any immediate out from number 2. So you have the same rules almost as you do as a mod corner. But here is where if number 2 runs an immediate out and we declare immediate out as 3 steps or less, if he takes 4, he is not immediate, the safety will drive it. If he takes 3 steps or less and comes out, you're leaving number 1, you're driving number 2. So if number 2 goes out, I'm going past you, who's number 1, letting you go past, and I'm taking number 2 who's coming out to me. Number 1 will be overtaken by the safety who's behind you. Again, this is only if our safety checks tango. He will check tango based off the splits of the number 2 and the number 1 receiver. They're tight splits. Odds are they're going to want to check tango because they might not have the chance to get to that out route as quick. Now, when you're a corner and we're in tango, safety calls tango, 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 our eyes need to go, instead of from the quarterback to number 1, they need to go from the quarterback to number 2. So your eyes go from here to here. You're reading number 2, you get 3 steps. He takes 3 steps, he's still going vertical, boom, my eyes are coming to number 1 again. We're back in our mod technique, which we just discussed. Cover 4 checks and adjustments. So we have the kick is to a nub side tight end, so we have no receivers to our side. Tight end's on the ball, his hands down in the dirt. We were playing 1x5 off of that tight end. Run to us, once again, we have securing it. We're coming outside, we're forcing it back up and in. We got to make the tackle. We can't let it outside of us. We're going to play kick also to a tight end wing. If we get disco, if we get tight end wing, no receivers out wide, we're going to play kick 1x5. Buddy, we would run this if number 1 and number 2 are very, very tight splits. This gives us the opportunity to banjo or buddy any switching route. So if number 1 and number 2 come up and switch like this, instead of the corner and the safety having to run past each other with those, we can now just pass our routes off and we can just run with them. Spin. This is a 3x1 adjustment. We will also run this when we get unbalanced. I know it's not in here. This is a check that we make throughout the season. We made it this season and we liked it a lot to unbalance. Says we will check it to unbalanced formations, but that's not every single one. This is basically cover 3 to the field. It is an invert cover 3. We're bringing our boundary corner down. We're going to drop you to the middle third instead of the outside third. Safety, you're dropping to the outside third. It's just eye candy for the offense, so they don't always know what we're doing. When we check 9, we will be doing this to FSO, which is formation to the sideline. Say offense comes out in 3x1, 3 wide receivers to one side, 1 wide receiver to one side. If they do that and the 3 wide receivers are to the short side of the field, that is FSO. If they are not to the short side of the field or to the wide side, it's regular trips, regular 3x1. Versus Gumby trips, which means back away from the field side. There's no tight end in the game. Back away from the field side to the boundary. We will usually make a stress call here. Or tray formations, we'll make a yo-yo. Gun A trips or triple, usually will be spin. And any motion to 3x1 is yo-yo. Want it to be very clear, any motion at all is yo-yo, which means our boundary safety, you're on your own, you got number 3. Other common cover 4 terms that we have man. This is man everywhere he goes. You would take the shallow cross if you were in Meg. It does not matter if you are 7 yards off, 5 yards off. If you were in Meg, you run with that man everywhere he goes. Press, twist the corner and press alignment. So we talked about playing 1x6 to 7, playing 1 yard inside or outside, 6 to 7 yards off. And we call press in the call. This is a signal for press. We are now coming up on the receiver and we are pressing them off the line of scrimmage. We will work inch techniques and we will work those things in practice and those drills to make sure we're good at that. Catch. This is another man coverage technique, but this is used playing flat foot. Now we have distance between me and the receiver. Now we're letting him kill the cushion between me and him. I'm letting him get there. I'm using my collision. I'm using that to slow him down, disrupt the timing with him and his quarterback, and I'm trying to get off of him. We'll usually do this playing a tight end, somebody who we feel we can react a little better with. China is communicated to the outside linebacker when the offense runs a smash route concept. So if you have 2 receivers, number 1 closest to the sideline runs a 3-yard stop. This man runs a corner. That's what we call smash. We also call it China. We need to make sure we are communicating that so we can get our outside backer out to the hitch immediately so we can get underneath of the corner route and maybe make a play. Oski, we communicate this after big plays, gentlemen. It's something we love to say. Oski. Means you got to pick. We're going the other way. Everybody gets a block.